So, what do you think about what I said about the blue asbestos on the free winds for 20-some years? What do you think about that? Do you think I'm lying? It was in the news. I know you're discouraged from reading the real-world news about Scientology, but your ship was in Curacao. You guys were having work done, and they discovered the blue asbestos. The blue asbestos is the most harmful kind. It's easily inhaled, and it does the most damage compared to other asbestos. And Miscavige knew about it for 20-some years, but he didn't want to take care of it because it was too expensive. So now all these Scientologists, tens of thousands, have come and gone from the free winds and were exposed to this blue asbestos. But think of the money you saved. I'm sure it's worth it.
Hey guys, go with Edwin? Hey, it's going well. You guys are invited. We have an open house today. And also, we're having a barbecue. You start changing. Like you were always. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You had a lot of. You've told me you had a lot of successes
in Scientology.
These wins.
Hmm?
You had a lot of wins.
I did.
Relayed to me.
I did.
Okay, you had a lot of gains in Scientology.
Yes, I did.
Is that a fact?
Yes, it's a fact. Yes. I've never said that I haven't.
I said you didn't have.
Okay, well, you're just asking me like you find it hard to believe that I'm saying that that's true.
No.
Yes, that's true. So go on. What about it?
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Well, you said you had a question. Is that a precursor to the question that you're going to ask me, or?
Did you have wins?
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, I had wins. Absolutely.
You had a lot of wins while you were here.
Yep.
Okay, what changed when you started going again? What was the one thing?
I found out. Sure. I found out that management changed the definition of the second dynamic in the new ethics book that came out in '98. Tom? It was the fact that the management changed the definition of the second dynamic in the 1998 ethics book. That's when I realized, wow, maybe management isn't exactly perfect. And maybe some of these stories that I heard aren't just simply lies. Then I started to become more critical, and I looked at a lot more things.
Okay.
Yeah, more critical.
But your own personal experience, you got a lot of gains.
Right.
Like when you were there, joint staff, yeah, you said there was some points that you didn't. But
I didn't what?
In general, you had a lot of gains.
Right.
That was the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying stuff about you got a lot of gains from the study technology.
I don't think I said study technology. I got a lot of wins from Dianetics auditing.
Okay. I'm not going to dispute
the best thing I like out of the study technology is the one where you say you make examples of how it could be that way and make examples of how it couldn't be that way. I really like that. I mean, but to be honest, I've never had a face that felt squashed. So I don't, there's some things that I just have never experienced. But
one definition changed your.
Well, no, that's what you asked me. What started it? What was the thing that? Yeah, that was the impetus when I realized that management wasn't perfect, and maybe there was some truth to these other horror stories that I was reading, but thought were just outright lies. Like being on the RPF for years and years. Then when I saw the picture of the inward-facing spikes at Golden Air Productions, I thought, wow, if they are running it like a prison camp, then that would explain why the spikes point inward, which they do. I saw those with my own eyes when I was out there. What do you think about that? You know what Tommy Davis said? Tommy Davis was asked on national news why they pointed inwards. You know what he said? Tom? You know what he said? You don't, because you can't watch the news about Scientology. You're discouraged from it. Only OSA can do that, right? He said, it's just the way they were installed. It's like that makes a lot of sense, right? It's like, yeah, well, why don't you just install them the other way so they point outward if you want to keep people out? Then I discovered how the OT7 sec checks were out tech. Virginia McLaughlin, she discovered a reference that said it was not okay to be doing 6-month security checks on OT7s if they're progressing well. But when they're costing $10,000 and $20,000 a pop, Miscavige said it was all right to do that, so he altered that. You're a little confused?
About where you're at. I'm just being clearly honest with you.
I mean, can you elaborate and explain what part you're confused about, or?
The thing is, you've also said very nasty things about Scientology out here.
Like what? Huh?
Like Scientology is a cult, blah, blah,
Sure.
blah.
Scientology your Church of Scientology is a cult.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yet you have a lot of gains about it.
From the subject, yes. Not your organization. They're two different things. That's where the differentiation comes into play. There's actually 3 important factors, Tom, that you need to consider. L. Ron Hubbard, the man, the Scientology subject, and the Scientology organization being run right now by David Miscavige. Those are 3 separate things. And you can't blur them all together and think that just because someone's attacking one, they're attacking all of them.
You know, you say that, I've heard you say negative things about LRH.
Right. I have plenty of negative things to say about LRH.
There you go. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a free country. I mean, you know, you believe what you want to believe.
yeah, thank God.
Your organization.
Huh?
I said, unlike you, are suppressing that right now.
What do you mean? I'm suppressing your organization?
Oh, absolutely.
Damn right I am.
Good, I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah, and until your abuses stop, I'll continue suppressing your organization. It's part of the doubt formula, is it not?
Every conversation goes down. It's like,
No,
hey,
I'm just telling you, it's part of the doubt formula.
just telling you.
Harm, attack, suppress, or help. Right? I'm suppressing your organization.
I already know that. You know.
But if someone wants to come along and talk about the subject of Scientology, I'll say, yeah, go ahead, check it out. I had great wins from it. I'll say that there's some things that make no sense to me whatsoever. But if you want to try the parse out and see what you think, go ahead.
We have a barbecue. You're invited. Yeah, it's like literally right behind you.
It's actually okay to be critical of L. Ron Hubbard. I know it. See, that's part of your cult mentality, Tom. When you sit there and you go hip hip hooray, like every morning at muster, that's very cultish. You get it ingrained in your head that L. Ron Hubbard is perfect and he never made any mistakes. That's not a healthy perspective to have. He was a man. He said that. And yet you sit there and you salute his bust and you hip hip hooray like at the end of every muster. That's crazy, dude. That's absolutely crazy and cult-like.
All I can say is thank God for David Miscavige.
Yeah, thank God. Ask Stacey Moxon if she feels that way. Oh, wait, you can't. She was electrocuted at Golden Era Productions, where David Miscavige works. Oh, you didn't hear about that one?
No, I hear that. I know everything you read, you believe. I know that for a fact.
Oh, no, Stacey Moxon.
Against Scientology, you believe it.
Yeah.
Let's do my own true observation.
Why don't you,
Might not be true for you.
Well, OSHA came and fined Golden Era Productions for unsafe practices because she fell into the electrical vault and was killed.
You have a nice day.